but I was very proud of our kids. Came out. Wake Forest played well, especially Joel Spear. She really got it going in the third quarter. She became a problem, but I thought our kids did a really good job in the fourth quarter. And what I was really proud of them about, they're starting to, make suggestions, about what we should do, what we need to do, how they want to play certain plays. And, they were going to that high ball screen quite a bit, and Joel got going. And they made a couple suggestions of what they would like to do. We did it in the fourth quarter, and we were able to pull away in the fourth quarter, but largely because of their defense and what they did and playing that high pick and roll. But great effort. I thought Liz was really good. I loved her demeanor. She was more aggressive, and that's something that we talked about. We've seen zone the last 6 games for the majority of the time, and I think it's people's purpose to crowd her. And I told her today, we've had extensive talks, and she needs to be more like. I told her she needs to be more like Kobe and less like LeBron, and because she's always trying to make the right play. She got double teamed. She's trying to kick it out. And today I told her, you need to. Sometimes you got to shoot it when 2 people are on you. You're that good, and you don't always have to shoot it, but you always have to have the mindset that you could possibly shoot it. And I thought she had that tonight. I thought Georgia was really good, really just controlling the game. Taylor Soule was really good. I almost said Taylor Swift. Taylor Soule was really good. Her energy's been really good, and I thought KT did a good job in certain areas. So she's chasing Joel Spear. So good win. They're all going to be tough. I'm very proud of our kids as we continue to climb up the ladder in the ACC.
Starting it back with Anthony.
Kenny, Ashley only had 1 bucket, but it was kind of a big one right in the middle of that run by Wake. What have you liked from her, kind of in her return back?
Yeah, it's hard, and I feel for her because it's hard to try to play 4 games with a team, and then you're out the main portion of when your team's gaining their identity, and now we're trying to reinsert her into certain areas. All the while she's trying to get her conditioning. The basket was a big basket. There's some other things that she's just really trying to get comfortable. And it's really hard when you're right in the thick of an ACC run to try to get that way. But, I have no doubt she's going to be able to continue to do so. I've got to do a better job. I got to do a better job with the rotations. I wish I could just look on paper and say, okay, I'm going to play these kids this many minutes. But, the game starts happening and, somebody gets in foul trouble. Somebody maybe is not playing as well. And then you try to mix and match a little bit, but she's going to get there. She's going to get there. We're going to get there. We're going to all understand it, and once we do, I think we're going to be a dangerous basketball team.
Kenny, the resiliency that your team showed, especially after whatever happened in that third quarter.
The technical foul. You weren't going to say it.
How is that a sign of the entire team's maturity that you guys have shown throughout the season?
Well, first and foremost, they picked me up. That's one of the things that we always want to control our emotions. I think that's the 3rd technical foul that I've gotten in 21 years of coaching. It just kind of gets to that point where, I got a little emotional because you just get in protective mode. You get in protective mode, and sometimes you see your kids getting hit, and your emotions ride high. But, I think it sparked a run for them. But nonetheless, I thought our kids did a great job of picking me up. The resiliency, it got down to I think 3, but then they dug in, and as I mentioned before, the defense really picked up. We were able to capitalize on some offensive possessions and push the lead back out. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, throughout the year. We have to make sure, myself included, keep our emotions in check. If I am going to get a technical foul, it needs to do the other thing and pick us up where we go on a run and not give up a run. But I was proud of our kids and what they were able to accomplish. Even when they lost the lead.
The front, Mark.
Still haven't caught up to Lefty's record.
No, I think Lefty liked them. I'm still not sure how I feel about them. That's my first one I've ever gotten at a home venue.
What did it mean to you to see Liz break the career field goals record today?
It's a lot. Because you talk about the history of Virginia Tech women's basketball, it's not like, we're relatively new. It goes back a ways, and for her to do that, she's actually 1 rebound away from 1,000, and for her to start breaking these records like that, I think what I think what it means is that Hokie Nation, we as Hokie Nation, we can't take her greatness for granted. You know, you really can't. And when you start to hear the things that she's about to accomplish here in the next probably, I don't know, 5, 7 games, you know, you have to really step back and say, wow. You know, she's going to be the second person in program history to get 1,000 rebounds. I'm sure she's going to be able to break that record. She's probably going to be able to break the scoring record, you know, and they're just going to keep falling and falling. And that just, it goes to show, we see her come out and score 28, and we're like, ho hum, you know, okay, Liz. But like when you sit back and watch what she's done and been able to accomplish, it's remarkable. It really is, and we need to enjoy it, myself included. And I do. And I enjoy watching her grow as a player, but I also enjoy watching her represent Virginia Tech, not only our basketball program, but the university. And that's just a great ambassador for what we want out of a student athlete, and we're very fortunate to have her.
And then to follow up in the fourth quarter, what exactly do you think you guys did better on defense after they shot lights out in the third quarter?
Yeah, we changed our coverage on the high ball screen. We were allowing them to sometimes, you know, sometimes you want to make it tough for them. And Jewel Spear, and I think I said it in the pregame, she's a phenomenal player, phenomenal shooter, and can really get it going. And we knew she was going to take a lot of shots. We just wanted to make it tough for her, and we knew that she was going to make some of them. And that's just our defense. Our defense is not to try to go out there and shut you down, because that opens up so many other lanes and avenues. We wanted to make her take tough shots. We held her in check pretty much the first half, and in the third quarter she got going. And so, okay, fourth quarter, it's time for us to make an adjustment. And we started hedging high ball screens and pushing her out even more. And if it was two light players, they were able to switch it. And they were the ones who were, you know, coming up with some of those suggestions, and we listened and we talked about it, and they executed it. And so it was very similar to what we did against Louisville when Haley Van Lith really got it going, and we made an adjustment, you know, down the stretch, and they did a good job, and it took them out of rhythm.
You may have touched on this last year, but when you recruited Liz, did you think, you know, it would be possible for her to break this record and then come up on 1,000 rebounds?
I don't know if you ever think that it's possible for her to, you know, actually break these records or for her to be this good, but she was the one that I wanted. And I think it's well documented that I recruited her and Elisa Cunane, who I think is a tremendous basketball player. And I remember, you know, going to watch them play in an AAU game. They played on the same AAU team. And I took my brother, and we were sitting there, and I said I wanted the brown hair girl. That was Liz. And he said, "You sure you don't want the blonde?" And I said, "Yeah, I do, but I think the brown hair girl is going to be better." And he looked at me and he said, "Okay." And then later, now to this day, he'll look at me and he'll say, "How'd you know?" And I said, "I just knew that she was a piece of putty, so to speak. You know, she didn't have a lot of bad habits. She was still trying to learn because she was a late bloomer. And but the one thing that I couldn't measure was her work ethic. And I've never had a kid who's worked as hard as Liz, you know, and she's probably already texted me, "Can we watch film tomorrow, you know, of this game?" And she's a student of the game. She wants to learn. She wants to get better. And you couple that with the fact that that's all she wants to do is win. You know, if we bring her in here right now, if you guys start talking to her about her accomplishments, she's probably going to get red in the face, and she's probably going to try to deflect because she just wants to win. And when you have a kid like that who's representing, you know, it gives you an opportunity to be a top 10 program in the country. And we're very fortunate to have her. But I knew she was going to be really good. You can just never tell somebody's going to be that good.
And that was kind of the key to breaking through the zone, because early on it was kind of stifling you guys, but after a while you guys played pretty well.
Yeah, we've seen zone last 6 games, and they've all been different. And so I think they're just taking a little bit of time to see where their driving lanes are going to be, and you know what the coverages are going to be. I think it makes them a little bit hesitant. We've been a lot better with it. I mean, here we score 74 points against the zone pretty much the whole game. Pitt plays zone the whole game. I don't think we've seen man-to-man extensively since Notre Dame. Everyone else is just playing a zone, different zones. So we need to shoot the ball a little bit better, and if we do that, I think it'll bust it open a little bit. But I like the way we executed today against the zone for the most part. You know, and obviously we got to move the ball a little bit better. But when you see as much zone as we've seen it, you'll start to get comfortable with it.
What takeaways do you have from this game going forward against Duke on Thursday, who's first in the ACC?
Don't have any right now because I'm going to enjoy this one and watch the Cowboys win.
We've
And then if you ask me, no, I'll give you something. I've seen them play a little bit just because they played common opponents as I'm watching them. They're a little bit different this year, and obviously they go to transfer portal pretty heavily, and so they have a cast of new characters, and so I have to get to learn them. But the game's going to be a big game. You know, obviously I don't know, we're 12, they're 13 or something like that. So it's going to be a high intense game. We know that it's going to be intensity anyway. We played them twice last year, and we were able to beat them twice last year, and there's a lot at stake. A lot at stake. You know, we're chasing them right now in the standing. I think they're in first place right now as we speak. They won today. It'll be a great opportunity for us to close the gap a little bit. But I think the main thing for us is that it's the next game, and if we just take them one at a time, and we're trying to develop a mentality of being the hunter, and we've been hunted a couple times, and we lost a couple games early, and we need to be the hunter and come out and be more the aggressor. But I am going to watch the football game first before I start. Okay.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, guys.
Ladies coming in next.
No, you always got to regroup, man.